My name is Kaylin Bryson. I am from Nashville, Tennessee.
I'm Chris Bryson. I was born in Detroit but moved to Nashville about 36 years ago.
I had a pretty normal childhood. I went to school. In high school, I was a cheerleader and I played tennis. I was very active. I was social, hung out with my friends all the time. I graduated high school at 18, went to college at MTSU, Middle Tennessee State University, that following year, and spent my freshman year in the dorm. About halfway through my second semester, I ended up getting very sick during spring break. I woke up with a sore throat. I started feeling very nauseated. I felt so horrible, so sick, and it happened so quickly from a sore throat to the worst feeling of my entire life.
I actually had the day off from my job in the ER, and I had been taking care of a lot of patients that had been coming in with flu symptoms, nausea, high fever, vomiting. And so when I found out that that was going on with Caitlin, I was treating her for what I thought were flu symptoms.
But my temperature was still very high at 104, and I was starting to develop a rash all over my arms.
I got on the computer and put in symptoms, and then I called the ER that I work at and talked to one of the doctors, and it was concerning enough that they said I needed to go ahead and bring her right in.
By the time I got to the emergency room where she worked at the time, my blood pressure was really low and I actually passed out twice.
They didn't think that she was even going to live. No parent should sit at the side of their bed and talk to their children about what their funeral arrangements are going to be.
They found out the next day that I had meningitis. I stayed in the hospital for about 3 weeks. After that, I had to recover almost the entire summer. I had to learn how to walk again. I was on dialysis for 4 months. I was really weak, very, very skinny. I was so sick and dialysis was so hard on my body. I hated it. I hated every second. I had to grow up really quickly and I didn't want to. That has been the hardest part about this whole thing is I feel like I didn't get my young adult crazy years, I guess. I think back and it makes me want to beat my head because I can still plain as day, like it was yesterday, I remember the doctor asking me if I wanted the vaccination. My first question was, do I have to have it? He said no. I said no. And that was big mistake. My life would be so different right now if I had gotten it.
As a nurse in a recovery room, I talked to quite a few people about my daughter, her experience. I talked to a lot of people about the meningitis vaccination, especially if I know that they have children. So I'm quite vocal about the fact that the meningitis vaccine should be available to everybody. Get educated, get vaccinated.
It's the right thing to do. Learn more at nmaus.org.